The Avatar series stands out for a lot of reasons. It's emotional and full of meaningful lessons, but what really makes it special is how it blends real martial arts into bending styles, turning every fight into a visual masterclass. It may have started as a kid's show, but it's grown into a pop culture juggernaut that's inspired multiple generations. In this video, we're focusing on the most unforgettable battles from male characters across both series. So let's get into it. Feeling like he wasn't measuring up to his bending friends, Sokka decides to strengthen his own skills. He turns to Master Pyando, a famous swordmaster from the Fire Nation, hoping to train under him. Impressed by Sokka's humility and creativity, Pyando accepts him as a student. Sokka undergoes rigorous training, including calligraphy, landscape painting, and swordsmanship, all designed to sharpen his mind and body. After completing his training, Sokka reveals that he's actually from the Southern Water Tribe. Rather than rejecting him, Pyando decides to test him in a final duel. The battle begins indoors and spills into the courtyard, where Sokka shows off his speed, quick thinking, and everything he's learned. Even though it's clear Pyando would have easily won if it were a real fight, Sokka impresses him by using the environment creatively. He might not have been a match for his master, but he held his own long enough to earn respect.
Sokka, you must continue your training on your own. If you stay on this path, I know that one day you will become an even greater master than I am.
Roku and Sozin were born on the same day and grew up as best friends in the Fire Nation. But everything changed when Roku was revealed to be the Avatar and left to master the 4 elements. Years later, Roku returned to find Sozin had become Fire Lord. Sozin suggested expanding the Fire Nation's reach, claiming it would bring prosperity to the world, but Roku firmly opposed him, insisting on maintaining balance between the nations. That moment marked the beginning of a deep ideological rift. Decades later, Roku discovered that Sozin had secretly started building colonies in the Earth Kingdom, breaking their earlier agreement. When Roku confronted him and Sozin refused to back down, the whole thing quickly went from 0 to 1,000. As a fully realized avatar, Roku easily overpowered Sozin, but instead of ending his life, he showed mercy, warning him not to continue down this path. It was a choice that reflected Roku's compassion, but also one that allowed Sozin to shape the future in fire and ash.
I'm sparing you, Sozin. I'm letting you go in the name of our past friendship. But I warn you, even a single step out of line will result in your permanent end.
As Bolan attends the premiere of his latest movie, the film shows Noctuk battling robot enemies that look like Northern Water Tribe forces. What the audience doesn't realize is that a real threat is brewing. Actual Northern Water Tribe soldiers have snuck into the theater, planning to kidnap President Raiko as part of a scheme by Veric. The overlap between the fake fight on screen and the real danger unfolding in the theater makes the moment even more dramatic. When the soldiers strike, Bolan jumps into action. Using his earth-bending skills, he fights them inside the pro-bending arena, where he's limited to using small earth discs. Even with that restriction, Bolan manages to block water-bending attacks and take down several enemies. With quick thinking and courage, he stops the kidnapping, leading to Varric's arrest and clearing his brother's name. In the end, Bolan didn't just play a hero on screen, he proved he could be one in real life too.
It's a knockout!
Remember your firebending basics, Prince Zuko. They are your greatest weapons.
I refuse to let him win.
This will be over quickly.
After Commander Xiao mocks Zuko's failures to capture the Avatar, Zuko challenges him to an Agni Kai to defend his honor. Xiao, confident in his abilities, accepts, while Uncle Iroh watches closely from the sidelines. As the fight goes on, Xiao dominates with aggressive and powerful firebending attacks. However, Zuko, using the basics Iroh taught him, takes advantage of Zhao's overconfidence, throws him off balance, and secures victory. Even after winning, Zuko shows restraint and walks away. but Xiao, unable to handle defeat, tries to attack him from behind. Iroh intervenes, blocks the attack, and calls Xiao out for his lack of honor, pointing out that even an exiled prince like Zuko has more integrity.
So this is how the great Commander Xiao acts in defeat? Disgraceful. Even in exile, my nephew is more honorable than you.
The fight between Mako and Bolan versus Minghua and Ghazan is easily one of the most tightly choreographed and impressive battles in the entire series, and it's not just about the bending, it's about how each fighter moves, thinks, and adapts under pressure. It all goes down in the Red Lotus's underground hideout as chaos erupts during their plan to end the Avatar cycle. Mako and Bolan race through the tunnels, trying to stop Minghua and Ghazan before they can escape. The action hits hard with sharp fire bending, powerful earth bending, and Bolan's long-awaited reveal of lava bending. Mako fights with the same precision and control that Zuko once had, but without the anger and impatience, finishing Minghua off with a perfectly timed lightning strike. Meanwhile, Ghazan forces Bolan to lower ground and nearly takes him out until Mako charges in to help. Together, the brothers push Ghazan to the edge, but instead of surrendering, he brings the entire chamber crashing down, ending his own life and giving Mako and Bolan only seconds to escape the destruction.
Mako, hang on!
You know, we didn't really get to see many Airbender versus Airbender fights during either Aang or Korra's stories. So when Tenzin went head-to-head with the ruthless Zahir, it instantly became one of the standout moments of Book 3. When Zahir and the Red Lotus were hunting down Korra, they made their way to the Northern Air Temple, hoping to crush the newly reborn Air Nation before it could grow. None of them expected anyone to put up much of a fight, but Tenzin wasn't about to back down. What made this showdown so great is that it reminded us just how skilled Tenzin really is. Zahir may have picked up airbending during harmonic convergence, but Tenzin grew up with it, trained from birth in the old ways, carrying the legacy of a past avatar. Even though it wasn't as long as I would have wanted it to be, this clash was unforgettable. Just pure, high-level bending from two very different fighters.
What do you think you're doing?
Taking back my city. You've got no firepower, and it's payback time!
King Bumi is, how do I even put this? He's truly one of a kind. This old geezer isn't just eccentric. He's one of the most brilliant earthbenders we've ever seen. So here's the thing. When the Fire Nation first attacked Omashu, Bumi made the totally unexpected choice to surrender without a fight. That confused a lot of people, including me. I mean, Omashu was a major Earth Kingdom city, but Bumi wasn't being weak. He was being smart. He understood something called neutral Jing, which is all about waiting and choosing the right time to strike. And sure enough, his patience paid off during the Day of Black Sun. That's when he finally made his move. He busted out of his prison and took back Omashu all by himself. No backup, no army, just Bumi and his bending. He tore through Fire Nation defenses, ripped apart the city's stone structures, and used the environment like it was an extension of himself. It wasn't just a flex of power, it was a reminder of how in tune he was with his city and why he was such a respected leader.
Wow! You took back your whole city all by yourself!
Determined to capture Aang himself and reclaim his honor, Prince Zuko disguises himself as the Blue Spirit, a mysterious masked warrior. In this new identity, he sneaks into a heavily guarded stronghold. With a mix of stealth and quick thinking, Zuko slips past the guards and reaches Aang's cell. After freeing him, the duo make their way through the fortress, dodging and fighting off Fire Nation soldiers left and right. For two people who are supposed to be enemies, they actually work really well together. Aang's airbending pairs perfectly with the Blue Spirit's speed and sword skills. Their teamwork makes for a thrilling escape and quietly sets the stage for the bond they'll eventually build.
Wait! You want to be Fire Lord? Fine, let's settle this. Just you and me, brother. The showdown that was always meant to be. Agni Kai!
You're on.
There are several Agni Kai battles throughout the series, but none hit harder than the final one. You see, the Agni Kai is a sacred Fire Nation duel, traditionally fought over honor and ending only when one burns the other. But this one felt completely different. It was no longer about honor. It wasn't just about pride or anger either. It was two siblings who once fought over silly things, now battling for the throne, because their father is a madman and quite possibly the worst dad in TV history. Zuko, after everything he's been through, fights with calm focus. Meanwhile, Azula, still incredibly powerful, starts to unravel. She's angry, unstable, and losing control. What makes this battle so powerful is that it isn't one with raw strength, but with Zuko's clarity and control. And having Katara, one of the best waterbenders alive, backing him up was the cherry on top. With this win, the Fire Nation gets the turning point it desperately needed. It's a moment of real change and redemption. Honestly, it's the perfect way to represent what Avatar is all about, and one I'll never get tired of watching.
Thank you, Katara.
I think I'm the one who should be thanking you.
The battle between Aang and Fire Lord Ozai is the moment the whole series had been building toward. From the start, Aang's mission was to master all four elements so he could stop the Fire Lord, and now that moment's finally here. I bet we all wondered how Aang would handle it, especially since he's always been a pacifist. Thankfully, their battle was everything we'd hoped for. With both fighters supercharged by Sozin's comet, this clash was nothing short of epic. Aang is pushed to his absolute limit and has to use everything he's learned. At first, he only bends in self-defense, staying true to his air nomad roots, but eventually, the pressure forces him to enter the Avatar state, and let's just say, things weren't looking good for Ozai after that. What makes the fight so unforgettable is seeing how far Aang has come. From Toph's seismic sense to Katara's waterbending lessons, everything he learned plays a part. But the real highlight is the ending. Instead of striking Ozai down, Aang uses energy bending to take away his fire bending for good. It's a powerful, peaceful solution, and honestly, way more satisfying than any violent ending could have been.
What did you do to me?
I took away your firebending. You can't use it to hurt or threaten anyone else ever again.
And that wraps up our top 10 fights. Which one was your favorite? Was there a moment you think should have made the cut? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay geeky.